At a 7-foot wingspan, he's an excellent defender that I think shows very good toughness. He proved to be a good pick-and-roll ball handler toward the end of the season with a capable jump shot. He's a penetrating guard that can put the ball on the deck and get to the basket, and was especially good Reese's last 10 games. Over his last 10 with Kentucky, he averaged over 19 points per game, shot over 50% from three and 85% from the free throw line with just under 7 assists per game. So he continued to get better and better, but with his physical profile, the fact that he can play the point, he can handle it, and he can guard multiple positions and be a disruptive defender. And he's also a high character guy. He's a great kid, a Canadian kid that came in. He was on the bench and came off the bench early behind Quade Green and then became a starter and their best player at the end of the year.
Guys, the guy that he reminded me of coming out of college is Michael Carter-Williams. Guy with great size, played the point, was actually the rookie of the year in the NBA. He's fallen off a little bit, probably working on his game, but reminds me a lot of Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to Charlotte. He's the 11th overall pick, going to Charlotte and trying to lift them as the Hornets try to get their fortunes going in the right direction under the leadership of Michael Jordan. They have James Borrego as the coach, Mitch Kupchak now the GM, and 2 times in the last 3 picks we've heard CATS, cats being called. Kevin Knox going to the Knicks, and now his teammate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on his way to Charlotte. There is John Calipari, who's proud of his night. Okay, we are hearing right now that perhaps Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just chosen by Charlotte, that this pick might be on the move right now as we check in with Woj. Woj, what are you hearing?
Yeah, Charlotte has agreed to a deal to send Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the Clippers. The Clippers will send Charlotte back the 12th pick, the next pick of the draft, and 2 future second-round picks. The Clippers have been focused on getting a point guard out of this draft. They get the Kentucky point guard, and they'll still be able to draft 13th here in the first round.
So still a couple of lottery picks for the Clippers, and now they're going to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, assuming that trade goes through, and the Kentucky point guard, who perhaps is not going to be on the East Coast, but rather headed west, is with Maria.
You're right, Reese, and Shai did say that his agent told him before he went on stage that he would be going to the Clippers. So what was your reaction to hearing that you'd be heading to the West Coast?
It's a great feeling, honestly, but being able to play in the NBA in itself is a blessing and something that not a lot of kids get to experience, and me being one of them is an amazing feeling.
Well, congratulations, Shai. Enjoy this.
Thank you.
All right, Shai, Maria, thank you very much. Mike Schmitz has been of the opinion that of all of the guards in the draft, that this is the guy you would have taken ahead of Young, ahead of Collin Sexton. Why?
The Clippers got the best point guard in the draft. 6'6", 7-foot wingspan, versatile defender. He's going to be able to guard 1s and 2s and eventually 3s. Has an outstanding feel for the game. Slithery and pick and roll. He's a finesse finisher. He's what teams are looking for in terms of feel, in terms of length and physicality. I really like what he's become. Originally committed to Florida, ended up at Kentucky. Like you said, Reese, wasn't a starter. He's really a self-made guy, and just a major win for the Clippers getting him at 11.
Okay, so you can keep up here. Though the Clippers are on the clock right now, they're going to get Gilgeous-Alexander once the trade moves from being proposed into being official. It has to be approved by NBA legal, and now the Clippers are on the clock, and Woj just told us that this pick is going to be the one that winds up going to Charlotte instead. So to put it back in perspective, Gilgeous-Alexander fitting in with what the Clippers have right now. How do you like the pick?
I love it. I love it. I mean, you're getting a chance and an opportunity to play for Doc Rivers, who's one of the best coaches we have in our league. A few things I love about this kid. He makes his teammates better. And as a point guard, that's what you always want. Communicates well with his teammates. And he's just his size. He can affect both ends of the floor with his length. And he's a pesky defender. Love so much about him. And Schmitz is right. He could end up being the best point guard of the 3.
And the newest member of the Von Trapp family singers.
I don't know about that suit he got on. I don't know about that suit.
Somewhere there are curtains missing.
Yes.